Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasoda Nandana Vajjana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Vajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Omajnana Timirandasya Janagana Salakayam Chakshus Militam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavistam Hitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Tadati Sa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Varikamalam Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Raganatan Vitam Sastrijam Vaitam Sarvarutam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinam Ati Deve Niprasadane Sunyavari Paschachadasatana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Adaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, Text 54. This is a discussion about Prahlad Maharaj, who is an innocent child, and he doesn't like the way the teachers are teaching about politics and one part, and friends and enemy. Because he's already a pure devotee, he's above that duality. So we don't have to stop to translate to Hindi. Do we have to translate to Hindi? Oh, okay. So, because he's a pure devotee, the other innocent children, because they're sons of demons, but they're still tender age, so they're not contaminated so much as the bigger adults. So the children are attracted to him because he's a pure devotee, just like we were attracted to Prabhupada because he's a pure devotee. He has extraordinary qualities. He's not envious. He's always jolly. He's the well-wisher of all. So Prahlad was like that. He was at that level of pure devotion. And so the boys were naturally attracted to him. And they called him. Although they were the same age, they posted him as the leader. Please, talk to us. That was their mood. So the verse, the Sanskrit, Yadacharya paravito. Yadacharya paravito. Griha media karmasu. Griha media karmasu. Vayasyaya balakais tatra. Vayasyaya balakais tatra. Sopahutu krita Krishnaya Sopahatu Krita Krishnaya Sopahatu Krita Krishnaya Krishnaya Yadacharya Paratvrito Vihamedia Kamasu Vayaisyar Balakaistacha Sopahatu Krita Shainaya Bolo Yadacharya Paravito Vihamedia Kamasu Gopatu Krita Shanai Yadacharya Pravavito Vyamedia Kamasu Yashe Balakestasya Yadacharya Pravavito Vyamedia Kamasu Yashya Balakestasya Uta Uta Katyashana Mataji's Yadacharya Pravavito Vyamedia Kamasu Yashya Balakestasya Yadacharya Pravavito Vyamedia Kamasu Yashya Balakestasya. Very good. Yada, when? Acharya, the teachers. Paravitaha, became engaged. Grihamedia, of household life. Kamasu, in duties. Vayasyaya, by his friends of the same age. Balakaya, boys. Tatra, there. Sa, he, Prahlad Maharaj. Apahuta, called. Krita Sharnai, obtaining an opportune moment. Translation, when the teachers went home to attend to their household affairs, the students of the same age as Prahlad Maharaj would call him to take the opportunity of leisure hours for play. Purport. In tiffin hours, that's a strange word for me. I never heard it until I became a devotee. So tiffin is something you carry your lunch with. In tiffin hours, the hours when the teachers were absent from the classroom, the students called Prahlad Maharaj, wanting to play with him. As will be seen from the following verses, however, Prahlad was not very much interested in playing. Instead, he wanted to utilize every moment for advancing in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, as indicated in this verse by the word Krita Shanaya, at the opportune moment when it was possible to preach about Krishna consciousness, Prahlad Maharaj used to use the time as follows. So this is the mood of the devotee. He's always looking for an opportunity to preach the glories of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 78 and 79, Krishna says, 68 and 69, the Lord says that no one is more dear to him than one who preaches the glories or the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita to innocent people. So this is an easy way to get the mercy of the Lord. If we just make it our duty to to talk to people about Krishna whenever the opportunity is there. So this was an opportunity, he took advantage of it. Sometimes there's not an opportunity in a certain place. We might create a disturbance. So we have to look for the opportune moment. So that's what Prahlad did. Let's do one more verse. Atatan shlakshnaya vacha pratyayuha mahabudaya uvacha vidam stan nishtam kripaya prahisan iva. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj, who was truly the supreme learned person, then addressed his class friends in very sweet language. Smiling, he began to teach them about the uselessness of a materialistic way of life. Being very kind to them, he instructed them as follows. Purport. Prahlad Maharaj's smiling is very significant. The other students were very much advanced and enjoying materialistic life through religion, economic development, and sense gratification. But Prahlad Maharaj laughed at them, knowing that this was not actual happiness. For real happiness is advancement in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Prahlad has given us that wonderful verse about chewing the chewed. How does it go? Who knows that verse? Yeah. Say it. I want to learn it. Punas. Punas. Charvita. Charvananam. Chewing the chew. That's what we're doing. We've already been there, seen that, done that. And they get bored, so they try to make it this way, that way, somehow different. They don't want just regular sex. They want kinky sex, upside down, backwards. This is because they're bored. I can't get no satisfaction. They're looking in the wrong place to find satisfaction. So Prahlad is advising us, no. Don't chew the chewed. Take to Krishna consciousness. It's always new and fresh. You never have the feeling, oh, been here, seen that, that. No, it's always dynamic, very dynamic. Krishna consciousness. So we should be careful to keep ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Knowing that that was not actual happiness, for real happiness is advancement in Krishna consciousness. That's the real happiness, and it's available to us. How do we know we're making advancement? Yeah, the first step, first sign that we're making advancement, we're losing our taste for the lusty affairs of this world. And we lose our greed. These people, they have much money, so much money, but they want more, more, more. They're never satisfied. The same with lust. Burns like fire and is never satisfied. So when our desire for objects of senses begins to diminish, then we can say, okay, yeah, now we're making tangible advancement. There's this sign. And on the positive side, of course, we'll be attracted to come to the kirtan, to hear the class, to chant our rounds with attention. Once I was chanting japa in front of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada turned to me, you listen when you chant? I wasn't listening properly, and Prabhupada could sense that. But I was a little defensive, and I was thinking, of course I listen, otherwise why am I doing it? But Prabhupada read my mind. He read my mind before I could speak. He said, I know you listen, but you have to listen very carefully, because this chanting is the whole essence of our philosophy. So that's a good instruction I got early on. When we're sitting for japa, the mind can take us millions of places, right? But we have to bring it back to hearing. This is the key, to hear nicely. Rupa Goswami is praying for thousands of millions of tongues and millions of ears so he can hear and chant this Mahamantra. So much taste in the name Krishna. He finds so much taste. So that taste is there because Krishna is not different than his name. But we don't experience it because we're inattentive in our chanting, or we commit some other offense. Mostly we're inattentive. The mind is taking us here and there. So we have to bring it again. We see we're being carried by the mind, and we have to curb the mind now and bring it back to the point of hearing very attentively. Okay? Materialistic persons take to so-called religion to be of getting you a new car or something that you want. This is not our occupation. Our occupation is to, we can bless people, we can encourage people, we can pray for them, but what we should pray, and we should ask the advanced devotees to please help me be a better devotee, help me give up sense gratification. It's a gradual process, but like Kadvanga Maharaj, he became Krishna conscious in one few minutes. He was helping the demigods, and when he was leaving, they told him they would like to give a benediction to him for his help. And he said, okay, tell me when I'm going to die. They calculated, you're going to die in a few minutes. Then he became really serious, and he went back to Godhead. So we have to be like that, a little serious about Krishna consciousness, because we don't know when death is coming, especially on these roads you have here. God, it's like a cultural shock for me. Okay, anyway. Blessings, so I read that. But the devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj, laugh at how foolish they are to be busy in temporary life without knowledge of the soul's transmigration from one body to another. People don't have maybe they've heard of it, but they don't believe it. They don't actually accept it. But it's a fact. We're eternal. That's the verse I spoke on last night, where Krishna tells Arjuna, you and I and all these kings, we've always existed. In the past we existed as individuals. Now we're existing as individuals. And in the future we'll also exist as individuals. So there's no cause of lamentation. I'm going to die. No, you never die. But people don't believe that. And they take this world as all in all. And getting ahead in this world is their object, their goal. By hook or by crook, they try to advance, get an advantage here. Advantage over what? Others. An advantage over the material nature, exploit it in such a way. Cut down all the trees so we can make a quick profit. That happened in Haiti. Dominican Republic and Haiti are one island called Hispaniola. But the leaders were so bad that they just, to make their own profit, they cut down all the trees. And the soil ran away. And now it's a very poor country. On the same island, on the other half, Dominican Republic, they were less greedy. And they have a good economy. But in Haiti, it's like the people are coming, the gangs, there's so many gangs. Because they're poor and, we should have money, and it's like it became hell because of the greed of the leaders. So this is the danger. Greed is a very, you can say, dangerous master. But everybody's into it practically. Even the millionaires. I was on the richest Indian man in America. And we went to see him with a few other devotees. He's got a huge house. He brings all his relatives from India. They stay in his house. It's in Florida. And he was on the phone to China. Or one of his, yes, buy that, yes, buy that. He has billions, but they're always thinking how to get more. They never think, okay, now I have enough. Let me devote my time to something real, like Krishna consciousness. So that same gentleman, I told him a story I had exchanged with Srila Prabhupada. And we were staying at John Lennon's estate. And we could look out and see John and his driver. We could see his driver. He was there, had the car. And Prabhupada asked me, that driver, all he does is wait for John to take him, to drive him? And I said, yes, Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, that is a sign of a rich man. You can keep one guy to do this, and you stay here all day, wait, maybe he'll want me to do something else. Because he's so rich, he can. So then I got a little enthusiastic about John's wealth. I said, yes, Prabhupada, he's really rich. Then Prabhupada made a face like I had a bad smell. What kind of face do you make when you encounter a bad smell? So he made a face like that at me, and he said, what is the use of all his money? He doesn't know how to spend it. And that's the fact. What is the use of your money? You don't spend it. You don't know how to spend it. You give it to your relatives or something. But then, And then they've done scientific follow-up on people who win the jackpot or the lottery. They get billions of dollars, millions of dollars. You follow up 1 or 2 years later, they're worse off because of it. Their family fights with them, and they're this and that. The money won't make you happy. That's a fact. But people think, no, this is... And the other thing I see in India, especially, education. Oh, if your children are not educated, you're bad parents. And how many years it takes to become a doctor? So the mother can say, yes, my son is a doctor. So we're not interested in those things. We're interested in Krishna. And we're following in the footsteps of Prahlad. Whenever there's an opportunity, we should preach about Krishna. Where are we now? Materialistic persons are engaged in striving for temporary benefits, whereas persons advanced in spiritual knowledge, such as Prahlad Maharaj, are not interested in materialistic way of life. Instead, they want to be elevated to an eternal life of knowledge and bliss. So that was what Prabhupada was always teaching us. Don't be satisfied with these mundane accomplishments. Come to the point of pure devotion, and then you'll be successful. His servants, the devotees of Lord Krishna, are also interested in educating the entire populace in Krishna consciousness. The mistake of materialistic life is understood by the devotees, and therefore they smile upon it, considering it insignificant. Out of compassion, however, such devotees preach the gospel of Bhagavad Gita all over the world. Srila Prabhupada ki. That was his mission, to preach this all over the world. Therefore, from the very beginning, he wanted international society for Krishna consciousness. He didn't want to just have a little center in New York. No, he wanted international. That was his mood, from the beginning to the end. And I see something's happening here in India. And there's a lot of good men and women are coming, and I'm sure Prabhupada would be pleased with your Radhanath Maharaj's work and the other leaders, your Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who are missing. So we should follow in their footsteps, and whenever opportunity is there, talk to people about Krishna. I see it's being done here. You have so many aspects. You can use your intelligence, individual. We're all individuals. We don't have to be, do exactly what someone else is doing. We can innovate something. That's the proper use of the mind, to tax your brain, how to push on this movement. So we don't say give up your mind or give up your intelligence. No, use everything in Krishna's service. This is our Yukta Vairagya. Rupa Goswami is giving us this wonderful philosophy of how to use everything in Krishna's service. So we have to be alert, though. If it's something favorable for our devotional service, we should accept it. Something unfavorable, we reject it. That's our main consideration. Intelligence means you're making intelligent choices or proper choices. So we have to choose. Is this favorable for my devotional service or not? If it's not, then don't touch it. We don't need it. You think you need it, but you don't. If you accumulate more or over-endeavor, then all these things become anarthas. Working so hard, day and night. Prabhupada used to describe it like a horse is working so hard that the foam is coming from his mouth. So we don't have to work like that. We should do everything cool-headedly, step by step, and the result will be there. We can be assured. Okay, any questions? Come on, it's a challenge. We're challenging you. There's a challenger. Who's?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for a wonderful class.
Now don't flatter me.
Maharaj, I have a challenge for you.
Uh-oh. A real challenge?
My challenge is that you shared with us that Srila Prabhupada said that we should hear the sound of the Maha Mantra. We should listen. But it seems practically impossible. hardly able to ever
Yeah,
do
hardly.
it.
So hardly means you can, a little bit you can. And then from there you increase a little bit more. But still, it's a gradual process. That's the only, there's no way around it. You won't find it immediately. So gradually you improve the quality of your chanting and the quantity also. On Ekadasi, Prabhupada would like us to chant more, at least 25 rounds. And why not 30 or 32 on Ekadasi or Janmashtami? I'm sure you chant more. So yeah, it's a gradual process. And the reason it's a gradual process is because our heart is full of dirty things. Once a devotee wrote to Prabhupada, early days this was, he said, Srila Prabhupada, since I've been chanting Hare Krishna, I noticed that there's so many dirty things that I didn't even know I had that are coming out. I'm more contaminated than I thought. And Prabhupada said, yes, you have noted the first step. Just like when you're cleaning a room, you take the broom. So it looks like more dirt is there. You're bringing out the dirt. But go on sweeping, and it becomes clean. Go on, so Prabhupada said, go on chanting, and it'll become clean. That's what we want. A clean heart. And the recommended way, Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kalua, Nasteva. So please do that, sir. Anyone else? That's a good question. No. Okay, microphone's coming.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the nice class. When we are advancing in the spiritual journey, by hook or crook we have to try. What it means, can you please explain?
Well, I think I might have used that phrase, by hook or by crook. But Prabhupada is referring to selling a book. So in other words, we're living in society. We can't just break the law. Sometimes the devotees were doing that. They were stealing. Yeah. No, everything belongs to Krishna, but they're using it in service of Maya. So if we take it from them, that's okay, because we're using it in Krishna's service. And they were doing like that. And Prabhupada heard and he was very disturbed. No, we have to follow the law. We can't be thieves. But they were justifying it, and they were bringing a lot of money. They used to call it midnight Sankirtan. They'd go out in the middle of the night and steal them. But Prabhupada completely curbed that. Anyone else? Mataji?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Koti Koti Dandavat Pranams. Please accept my most humble and respectful obeisances onto your lotus feet as servant of your servant. Maharaj, my question is that what efforts should we put from our side so that Krishna will open the doors of Shuddha Nam for us?
I don't get it. Should we?
What efforts should we put forward so that Krishna will open the door to Shuddha Nam for us?
Oh, that's a good question. You should put full effort.
No, what we should do? Which efforts we should do? Because
You should come to class and ask the sannyasis questions. You're doing the right thing. Thank you for being here. You spoke to me yesterday, right? Yeah. She's a good girl. She's got a lot of followers. Yeah. Ladies. So that's okay. You're doing good. Continue. It's a gradual process. Now how old are you? 20 or something?
yes, 22.
Huh? 22, yeah.
22 years.
By the time you're my age, you'll have a big following and you'll be... No, really. She's a charismatic girl. So 22, and I'm 84. How many years is that? 62 years. You just have to think like that. Let me continue like this for the rest of my life and leave the result to Krishna. Don't be too much worried about.
And Maharaj, how to cry for Krishna?
Huh?
How to cry for Krishna?
How to cry?
Krishna! Please help me. Any more?
Okay.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, you in lecture you are telling about the education. Education.
Yeah.
So I am doing some service in related to education, but the response of the students, professors is varying. Lot of they are not reciprocating what Srila
Because
Prabhupada
they're
teaches.
proud. I have PhD. Why do I have to listen to you? What's your education? Yeah. So they don't. That's the danger of any material asset that you have. Rich man, educated man, they become proud. And they don't, in order to hear, you have to be humble. This is the first qualification. Admit you're in an awkward position and you need help. But these people don't do that. They don't think they need help, but they're going to give you help. We have a hospital, we're feeding the poor, and then they're proud. Like this rich man that I met in America, India, the richest Indian outside of India, or at least in America, in the USA. He's the richest Indian in USA. But he couldn't hear. He couldn't hear. Because he said, I should hear from you. That's the kind of the mood. I suggested when I was with him, I said, we could come to your house sometime and have a program. He looked at me like, you in my house? I don't let Sujas in my house. He didn't say that, but that's how he was thinking. So then they miss opportunity. So what to do?
Convey the message of Srila Prabhupada and teaching of Lord Chaitanya to them so that they can take shelter of the Lord.
We try our best and leave the result to Krishna. It's not so easy. We've been preaching in Bombay or Pune for how many years?
More than 40 years.
More than 40 years. But we have just a handful of, compared to the whole population, what percentage do we have who are full-time devotees? Maybe less than 1%? Yeah. So why? Because they have their own life. And they're not, they don't, therefore that verse is there. What is it? 7, Manusyanam Sahasreshu. Who knows it? Come on.
Sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatham api siddhanam kaschimam eti tatpataha.
Like he became a devotee. I was there when he was becoming a devotee. He used to go on the street and sing. That's how he made a living. They call him Bhaskars or something. So, and by material estimation, this guy's a beggar on the street singing with a cup to try to get money. But because he was a little humble, now he's a big sannyasi in ISKCON, and rightly so. So this is we have to judge who's better off. The rich man who's making so much money by singing, or a simple singer like him, and now he's singing the wonderful Harinam. So Krishna is looking for the sincerity, not how much money you have or something. Okay, we'll stop here then. One more. You got it from
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, can you tell what was the general schedule of Srila Prabhupada for the whole day, and especially on Ekadashi? And also we used to hear that Prabhupada never used to travel on Thursday.
Never carried what?
Huh?
Prabhupada never?
Used to travel.
Thursday afternoon. That's what Thursday afternoon is inauspicious for traveling. Yeah, that's what I heard. So
Prabhupada used to follow that. I was
we don't need to do anything. But if we feel that it might be better to do it, then we can do it. The Prabhupada never made it as one of the principles of Krishna consciousness. We do have principles. And there are a lot of things that we should do, but this is optional. Bhaktisiddhanta used to do it. He would take his bag, and for an auspicious time, he would put his bag out of the house. And then that was considering he was starting his journey. So, and also astrology. Sometimes they used it. Prabhupada used it sometimes. So, but it doesn't mean that every time we have to. And sometimes he also said, for sannyasis it's not necessary, this astrology. Otherwise, it's a big science, but the problem is nobody knows it so well, astrology.
He did not emphasize that principle as something compulsory, but at the same time he had followed it very seriously. So we were thinking that what was the exactly reason behind following
You have
that.
to ask him when you meet him. No, I'm sure you're going to meet him again. We're all going to meet in Vaikuntha.
And Maharaj, what Srila Prabhupada used to spend the day of Ekadashi generally in
What?
Ekadashi.
What you do is fast from grains and beans. Yeah, he would do that. He would eat something.
How he spent the day of Ekadashi that he.
I was never Prabhupada's traveling servant, so I don't know exactly. What did he do? I mean, I don't think he changed his program much. I remember once we were traveling, and Pratumya, who was is he still with us? He's still on the planet. He was traveling with Prabhupada, and he was a scholar. And somehow we missed Ekadasi, and we broke, Prabhupada too, we broke Ekadasi by taking grains. And Prabhupada chastised him. What's the use of having a scholar with us if you can't tell us when Ekadasi is coming? So he took it just like the same way he's giving it to us. No grains and increasing his japa. He told us that it would be good if we could chant at least 25 rounds on Ekadasi. But he didn't make it a restriction, that we have to. We have to chant 16 rounds. We take a vow to do that. But he did the vow on Ekadasi is no grains, right? And that's also a grain, no? Okay, grains are beans. Okay, next. I think it's getting late though, huh? Maybe we should stop here. Thank you very much. Huh?
Time is there, Maharaj.
Oh, we have to stay till 9? Okay, I'm having fun.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Give the microphone here.
Maharaj, in this purport, this devotees laugh. Devotees laugh at when people enjoy sense gratification because they don't have the understanding of higher pleasure. It's mentioned there.
Yes.
So I was thinking that when devotees, when people do some mistakes or somebody on a banana peel, he falls down. So one gives a very good laugh, in kind of mockery kind of feeling. So when devotees laugh at somebody enjoying sense gratification because they cannot enjoy the highest pleasure. So what is the mood and
Yeah,
which how
that thought
that
came to
is
me
done
also when I
in
read
experience?
this. Yeah, it's like an internal thing. You laugh at their foolishness. They think they're going to be happy like that. So it's like ridiculous. So in one sense, there's some humor there that you're doing something that's impossible. To find happiness in the material world. But you try to, but in the second part of that same sentence, Prabhupada mentions, or the next sentence after that laughing bit, Prabhupada says, therefore the devotees go and canvassing. They have compassion. So it's not that we're just sitting back and watching people go to hell and taking pleasure for that. Prabhupada, so much. I told a story yesterday, right? How we were alone in Hong Kong with 7 or 8 men, and Prabhupada came, and there was one devotee who was having trouble, and Prabhupada got him to speak about his difficulties. Then he asked me to speak about my difficulty. Then I asked Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, tell us your most difficult time in Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada became very sober. And he said, you don't want to know about that. And I was thinking, oh, lady didn't tell us. Just by hearing about it, it would have broke our back. So Prabhupada did so much. And why? To spread this message. He wasn't laughing at people. He was sorry for them, that they were suffering, and he had the solution. Therefore, he was compassionate. But still, if a child does something backwards, we can laugh, because we understand he's a child, he doesn't know. But still, from us, we get a little chuckle. So it's the same way. This rich man, he wouldn't let me near his house because. So we can get a laugh at that. He's missing opportunity, and there's nothing I can do about it. I offered to come to his house and have a program there, and he laughs. So to me, that's also humorous that he's missing. Okay, next. Here's one behind.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
That's good.
Maharaj, yesterday, like me and my friend, we were discussing about that, how many Srila Prabhupada disciples, they met only few times. And some of them, they didn't even met Srila Prabhupada. Only by later they got initiation, like that. So I was thinking, like we were just discussing that, how by this they could become so serious and so sincere in their spiritual life. And I've been hearing, and we have been hearing for so many years altogether, and still that seriousness has not come yet. At least I can say this for myself. So,
can I laugh? I laugh at that, because why not serious? What's so hard about being serious? Either you're serious for Krishna consciousness or you're serious about sense gratification. Because life is serious. Everybody, even the karmis know that. They're going to die. So they take things very seriously. You see them on the road, right? They're driving. The scooters are going. They're serious. They have to be serious, otherwise they'll be killed in a second. So where are they going? So in such a serious way with your motor scooters, with the wife in the back, and it's like it bewilders me. How? Because you have to be serious. If you're not serious, you're going to have an accident in 1 second out there. So they're so serious. But what is the use of that seriousness? We want you to be Tivrena, Bhakti Yogena. Tivrena means serious. So you're not serious after so long? Then I feel sorry for you. I pray that you become serious, because that's the price. You have to be very serious in order to get the full mercy of the Lord. Tivrena, look up that word. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena means intensely. Huh? So what does the word Tivrena translate? Any some more questions? So get the microphone back there, behind you.
Great force. With great force.
Yeah. So we have to do it with great force.
Hare Krishna Maharaj,
yeah.
Thank you very much for a wonderful class. Maharaj, my question is, you just briefly touched upon how, especially in India, people have this strong desire to have very high educational qualifications. And even in devotee communities, because we have come with that conditioning, myself too, we have come with that conditioning that, you have to strive hard for education. So even in devotee communities, we see that everyone is struggling hard for education. There are so many entrance exams and everything. And so what ends up happening is because you end up prioritizing that, a lot of time goes into that. and time which could instead be maybe utilized in doing the 9% of devotional service, you end up instead using that time in education.
Yeah.
So, how?
Yeah, therefore we're laughing at that. And why not use that time to research the literature? We have so much literature. Like Jiva Goswami is considered the most, Prabhupada considered him the most intelligent philosopher ever lived, practically. So why not become absorbed in and learning the verses, and then you can help with the people like me who aren't so intelligent as you. You can give me verses and say, what about this? Yes, this will help you. In other words, use that same desire to be educated, to educate yourself on spiritual subject. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. We can learn it backwards and forward, learn verses. Then you're using the same tendency to educate yourself, but that's more valuable. Otherwise, we can always hire somebody to do something, but you can't hire a devotee. You can hire somebody to fix your refrigerator. He's got education in how to fix a refrigerator. I don't know how to do it. So that's what it is. People learn how to manipulate this energy, how to make a cell phone and these things, and they get a lot of money for it, but they don't get Krishna. So we should say, okay, we can use these innovations and these inventions, but if we're going to spend our time, we should use our time to go deeper into the philosophy and to learn the verses. It would be very helpful if we had scholars who were really good and they could give you a quote. Like when I'm giving class, I'm looking for some, if I know this guy is a real scholar, I ask him, so-and-so, what about this? And he can immediately, yeah, 6 canto, what? That's a valuable thing. Why not use it in that way? Learn the Bhagavatam.
Maharaj, so kind of like a counter argument for that is when a person with very low educational qualifications approaches another person who might be much more highly qualified educationally, they will look down about that person. They're not willing to hear that person at all. On the other hand, because that's the other thing, like Pratishtha, it's something very big in India, right? Like the more number of degrees you write after your name, the more higher people are going to look up at you, right? So
But
if you
that wasn't Prabhupada's mood, though. He made a couple of exceptions. Like Rabindra Swarup, he was getting his PhD, and Prabhupada said he could continue. But generally, Prabhupada, just like he told me, I said, Prabhupada, I want to get a book on how to give a massage. And Prabhupada says, not necessary. Read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will tell you how to do it. So why should we spend our time, trying to understand this material creation? It's all a material creation. It's endlessly mutable. You're never going to know everything. How many atoms in this room? How many, it's like, so why, who cares what they think? If you're learned in Bhagavatam and they laugh at that, well, that's their problem. And they do laugh at it, yeah. I listened to one Indian scholar was lamenting that in the past, so many people became sadhus and they didn't learn material science. So we say just the opposite. Good thing some of them didn't become, material scientists and whatever the IT people. IIT or ITT? So much time you're learning all these things. But I can hire somebody to do that. But you can't hire somebody to go give class. They'll be laughed off the Vyasa-san. So why not become conversant in the literature? And wherever you go, people will be eager to hear. Then you just travel in devotional circles. Don't mix with these people. You mix with them just to get something. Yeah, you can get something from them. I Google all the time. Google things. What is this? It's very valuable. You learn. But why do we have to be the one to learn? There's so many learning. They're doing it because they can make money. That's the main motive. They can be another, who's the richest guy who's IIT? Steve Jobs. He used to eat at the Krishna house sometimes. But I called him. He didn't want to meet me because he was in California. That was before he got sick. Now he's dead. Okay, one more. Mataji, she raised her hand. Very enthusiastic. Now they're making you come for the microphone. Nobody gets bored sitting here like this. It's good. I mean.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Danvat Pranam. My question is that sometimes all this bhakti and the responsibility starts feeling very overwhelming because it's not like I'm doing it because I like it. It's like a sense of duty. So it is very overwhelming at some point. So how to overcome that phase? Because there's a fall down in that phase.
Yeah. Yeah, we're praying to get a higher taste. That's a good prayer. You can come. Please, Swamiji, help me get a higher taste. Paramjitanavartate. But in the meantime, the duty is there. That was one of the arguments Krishna gave to Arjuna. It's your duty, you're a Kshatriya, you should fight on a principle of religion. This is the principle of fighting that I'm asking you to do. Why are you not doing your duty? So duty is required. But we have to get it changed. I'll give an example. Satsvarup Maharaj was a secretary for Srila Prabhupada. In early days, Prabhupada was speaking into the dictaphone, and then it would be recorded. And so Satsvarup would come and get the recording, and then he would listen to it and type it out. He was doing that every day. And then he did it one day, he came like that, and he gave his thing and and Prabhupada saw that it was kind of mechanical. So he said that, we're doing this. I'm staying up night like this and doing this work because I love my spiritual master. And so you should think like that. I'm doing this out of love of my spiritual master. Then it won't become so dry and you get a higher taste. Do you have somebody you love, your guru, like that? Then you please them, then you feel satisfied. The example we gave, right? The young boy is playing with his friends. He's having fun. But his father calls him, please son, come and help me. Say 8-year-old boy. And the boy helps his father, and he does something tangible to help his father. And his father is really grateful for that. And he tells him, thank you so much, my boy. And when the boy gets that blessing from the father, he feels more happiness than he did playing with his friends. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the mercy coming down from above. And when that mercy comes, we'll say, wow, this is a wonderful feeling. I please Srila Prabhupada. And he's a person, and you're a person, and so there should be love. So like that, you can find somebody that you love, who's Krishna conscious, and that's why generally we say women are married, the husband should be somebody they look up to. He's the first guru. So you love your husband, and you don't mind working for him. That's the best I can do. Any other? Are you satisfied, Mataji? Okay, she's satisfied.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much Maharaj for this discussion. Since the context is of education, here Srila Prabhupada is saying, I am just trying to understand what way he wants this education to be. So he is saying that those interested in spiritual life should follow Prahlad Maharaj in rejecting the education of religion, economic development and sense gratification. One should be interested in spiritual education. So Krishna consciousness movement is doing that like that. So when it comes to education, Maharaj, there are, like if we say material education, there are institutes, there are courses, there are exams, there is study. So when Prabhupada is saying that there should be spiritual education, what kind of spiritual education Prabhupada wants us to do? Like
I'm saying, learn the verses. Learn Srimad Bhagavatam. There's so much there, right? When I'm reading over again, I'm giving a Zoom class sometimes, so I'm reading, wow, this is such wonderful stuff. These purports, Prabhupada's purpose are so enlivening. So why not become a scholar like that? Learn the Bhagavatam. Learn Bhagavad Gita. It's like I'm saying, if you know Bhagavad Gita shlokas, you can be an asset to any preacher. If the preacher knows that you're really a scholar, you know Bhagavad Gita backwards and forwards, he'll call on you. What is that verse? because that's what I get. I get a little remembrance of half of the verse, and then I don't know the Sanskrit or something. But if there's somebody there who can help me, then we can be a good team to get the message across with authority. So the main thing is that we're becoming more Krishna conscious. So Prabhupada said a little education is required. We should learn how to write. And like that came with the point of women. Prabhupada, how much education should we give our girls? And Prabhupada said at least enough. They can read and write and read my books, but not too much. He didn't approve of them getting PhDs and so on. Better to have children and raise them to be Krishna conscious. Than for the women especially. And for the men also. Very rarely did Prabhupada encourage anybody to go back to the university. And then, because you have to sit there submissively and hear from these people who they should be hearing from you. But you have to, so why do that? Unless it's a special thing that you want to learn to further your Krishna consciousness. Otherwise. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much.
Swami Maharaj ki.
This. He wants to tell you about the books that I wrote. It cost 200 rupees. That's it. It's a good book.
Yes. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation and patience, and the Pune management authorities for kindly hosting Maharaj for this time. So Maharaj has written a nice book titled Priceless Moments with a Pure Devotee about his memories and experiences and services and exchanges with his Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. And it has been well received and appreciated throughout the ISKCON by many senior Vaishnavas. The list goes on, fatal names, including our dear Krishna Chaitanya Maharaj as well. There you go. Any devotees who would like to avail this book, it's a nice opportunity. It's been personally signed by Maharaj. So please come and collect it from me for a small donation of 200 rupees. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Also, Maharaj is going to sing the Gaur Arati today evening, and we will have a class after that by Maharaj. So, devotees are welcome to take the benefit of association. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Trivikrama Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ma Om Vishwadaya Krishna. Shimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Pune. So I should wait now while you're selling books?
No, Guru Maharaj. There is another devotee who will take you to this. Hey, Prabhu, idhar aajo. Maharaj ko dekhiye. I will distribute the books. 779. He will take you.